There's something chilling about listening to the shortwave radio in the dead of night among the pattern and hum of static. Sometimes something calls out, a sequence, a rhythm, a pattern in the noise. Today we're diving into one of the more mysterious number stations out there, also known as, or some known as, MC03. Hello and welcome back to Number Stations _Live UK. Today in this instalment we're going to be looking at the number station MC03 and looking at what this number station actually is. There is something chilling about listening to the shortwave radio in the dead of night, among the hiss and the hum of the MC03 is no ordinary number station. It doesn't broadcast human voices or read out digits or numbers. Instead, it uses Morse code, but not the kind you'd expect. These transmissions are filled with strange bursts of different tones and different messages, and which I can only describe an eerie transmission in the signal. Some researchers believe that the shift in tone aren't just random, but they are intentional distortions, perhaps an extra layer of encryption, or maybe a signature in the audio fingerprint of sorts, designed to mark MC03 as different from the rest. On the 8th of May 2022 at exactly 11:06 UTC, M03 broadcasted on 5206 kHz. The pattern was steady, but then something strange happened. Suddenly, the airwaves began to shift. Another station, VC03, also known as a Morse code style broadcast, seems to have collided with MC03. The result is a rare and fascinating phenomenon. A VC03 and MC03 collided transmission. For a brief moment it was chaos, two rhythmic worlds clashing into each other, one signal trying to outshout the other, like a ghostly conversation overlapping in the fog. What does this mean for the two number stations overlap like this? Is it a mistake or an attack? Maybe a coded message that only meant for a specific ear to hear. MC03 doesn't speak words, it whispers in code and yet leaves behind more questions than answers. I will now play you a clip of what this transmission sounds like. But what exactly is M03? Who is behind it? And why is it transmitting in such an unusual way? One theory is that MC03 is a military station used to convert communication with agencies in remote areas to use Morse code to deliberate, not for secrecy but for reliability. Unlike voice Morse that can punch through noisy frequencies, travel long distances, and receive on basic equipment, it's old, but how it works. Others believe M03 might be a relic of the Cold War, an automated system still broadcasting long after its operators shut it down, a ghost in the machine, a signal forgotten by time. Or maybe it's something more experimental. Some researchers have speculated that the varying tones and eerie transmissions could be used for tests or hiding new transmission technologies using to voice, measure astronomy conditions, or even time messages inside sound waves themselves. M03's inconstant signal strength shifting audio profile can be a form of frequency hopping or digitally stagnography, where data is hidden inside a sound that seems harmless or even meaningless to the average listener. And let's not forget the idea of physical operations, also known as psychops. A station like MC03, with its cold, mechanical rhythm and unusual tones, might not be for all ears, but for the right mind, that can suggest a station like the use of conditions to confuse or even to control sounds designed to disturb or influence thought. It's a stretch, but in the world of number stations, nothing is off the table. Looking closer, some listeners have also reported strange anomalies hidden within the M03 signal. Patterns that don't quite line up with standard Morse, odd gaps shifting in time. This could be a second layer of information, or are we simply trying to make sense of random noise? And the big question, why hasn't it stopped? M03 continues to transmit, sometimes weeks apart, sometimes unexpectedly, hours for hours and hours on end, in a static, blinking its cold white messages into the dark. Some have even called it a digital monument, a signal not meant to communicate, but meant to remind that it's somewhere out there, someone or something is listening. So what is M03? A Cold War relic? A spy tool? A tech experiment? Or something we haven't even begun to understand? Maybe it doesn't even matter with M03. What matters, it's still out there. If you're enjoying these deep diving into the mysterious signals, decoding shadows on the spectrum, and uncovering secrets with hidden messages and trying to make sense, then we have a whole YouTube channel full of stuff. Let me know what you think M03 really is, and I will see you in another instalment of Number Station School Live UK. Bye for now.